Hello. So this is a video I was debating on making or not. Basically, it's how much did it cost? I've gone and added up everything, and I was quite shocked at the final figure. I didn't think it was as much as it was, but I'm going to go through all the costs, and I'll go through why it cost us this much, and hopefully next season should be less. If you don't want to stay here for all my waffle, I'll put up here the timestamp to the final total. But yeah, if you want to hear all my waffle, and yeah, we'll go through it. So at the start of each season, you've got to renew your race license. We both had to do that at a cost of £104 each. Emma then had to buy a membership for the BARC so that she could do the mini challenge, which is £145. We had to renew the subscription on the transponder because we've got one of the newer style subscription transponders, so that's £101 for the year. Before we even think about racing, we've got to spend £454. That's those three things together: licenses, memberships and transponder. So £454 right off the bat before we even go anywhere. What we did with the car pre-season, so we knew we were going into the mini challenge. We knew what class we were going into. We knew what the car needed, as in upgrades. So pre-season, we went and did all that. So we bought cam, injectors, pulleys. That lot by itself came to a total of £380. We bought two more sets of wheels, so Team Dynamics Pro Race 1.2s. We bought two more sets at £500 for the 8 of them. I think I paid £260 for one set and £240 for another set or something, but £500 all in for the 8 wheels. Clutch was £628. That was lightened flywheel going to a solid flywheel, normal clutch and pressure plate. It was, well, not a normal clutch, it was an upgraded clutch, but swapping to a solid flywheel. So anyway, £628 for that. The gripper LSD, that was £1,029. The fiberglass bonnet was £315. The Deadweight Industries battery was £435. The Link ECU was £1,500, and you can see how this is adding up. I think I'll list everything here. Vibrotechnics engine mount for the driver's side, that was £175. We bought some AirTech parts because the series Mini Challenge Club Sport is sponsored by AirTech, so we got a little bit of a discount with some of their parts. So we bought some parts from AirTech at £239. We got the coilovers refurbished. That was £162. We got a deal on the oil from Monus Lubricants. That was £175 for all the oil for the season. And we got radios from Racecar Radios. That was £587, and I think there was also, we had to pay, there was also a license in there as well, which I don't think I've got here. But that was £587 for the radios. So all that added up, basically everything we bought before the season even started, £6,125. I didn't realise it was that much, and literally until I added it up now, because you're just spending £200 here, £100 there, £500 here. You don't, like, I'm quite good with numbers, but when you do it over quite a long period of time, so we started buying stuff for this season at the end of last season, for it was probably like October, November, last year we started buying stuff. You don't realise when you do it over such a long period of time, you don't realise how much it adds up. But yeah, so £6,125 just to get the car ready, basically. And some of those parts, like when we first turned up at Cadwell, we didn't have the battery, we didn't have the bonnet. So yeah, some of those parts weren't even installed. They weren't installed until later on. I did around the opening round of the BRSCC Club Sport Trophy. £395 I was for that, to do the Club Sport Trophy. And then we had to pay everything to get Emma into the mini challenge itself. £300 to register for the series. Then the entire season was £3,450 on top of that. And then we had, at the end of the season, we had that mini Ladon, the 40-minute race. So that was £495 into that. And also, you may not know, the season used, well, the championship uses a control tyre. So we ended up buying 8 tyres, 8 dry tyres, and then 4 wet tyres. And in total, the 12 tyres came to £2,299. So, again, before we've even turned a wheel in the mini challenge, we've spent just over £6,500. You can see there we're already at nearly, well, we're over £13,000 with just what we needed to get to actually race, getting the car set up, and then getting everything sorted for the series. 13 grand. It's quite a lot of money. And then, if you've been with us since the start, you'll know that Cadwell wasn't the best start for us. We the car went into the wall. My fault. I didn't check. I didn't have time to check all the bolts. Caliper bolt came loose. Anyway, you know the story. So we went out. We bought another car, and yeah, we had to buy some bits and pieces. So the car that we bought was £1,400. We had to buy a new set of brake discs for the front because we cracked one of them. They were £679. And also, just before Cadwell, I'd bought a set of scales, set of weighing scales, and a string alignment kit to start learning and playing with. So they were £900. Cage feet, we needed to buy them again for the new shell. They were £96. And then various other spares and bits and pieces that I needed to buy came to £250. Then we had Thruxton, which again, if you've been watching the whole year, you know what happened there. Again, I'm taking the blame for that. Setting up the car differently, it doesn't matter. So we had to buy. I went out and bought another car again. This time it was just for spares, so I could take the rear panel off it and graft that onto the old car. So the car that I bought was a Cooper, and it was £400. I had to travel down the road to get some spares that were £80, and a brand new bonnet. Big thanks to CCF Fiberglass for getting this bonnet out really quick to us and doing it at just £200. So massive thanks to Rob for that. It really helped us out there. But yeah, Thruxton cost us, still, that was £680 Thruxton cost us. Other costs that were involved the whole season, obviously we travel about in our van, which I'm in now, so sometimes we have to camp in it because we live northeast of Scotland, if you didn't know. The course of the year we spent £185.50 in campsites. Fuel for the car itself, the race car, we spent nearly £1,000, £960 in fuel roughly. I haven't actually properly totaled it up, I've just gone with what I usually put in the car and the jerry cans and all that we take with us. So for all the weekends that we've done, it's roughly £960, and then fuel for the van, £2,560 for all the weekends that we've done back and forth. Final thing, testing and paying Tom, our driver coach, Thomas MacArthur. Highly recommend him if you're looking for a driver coach. Go and see him. He's absolutely brilliant. But anyway, course of the year we paid for testing and Tom at various rounds. We've paid £1,750. So the final total for our year, £23,238. Yeah.
I declare bankruptcy!
Yeah, it's a lot of money. If we didn't have the offs, if we didn't have the crashes at Cadwell and Thruxton, we'd be looking at £19,230. So basically the crashes cost us about £4,000. Bit of a shock when I first calculated that up, but next year in 2024 it should be a bit cheaper for us, because there's a whole heap of stuff here that we don't need to buy again. So all the stuff that we did to the car, like the gripper, the wheels, the link ECU, stuff like that, we don't need to do that again. We don't need to spend that this year. So hopefully that should help. I'm thinking the mini challenge season should only see us about 11 grand this year, well, in 2024, I'm hoping. Racing can be expensive. Obviously our cost is slightly inflated compared to a lot of other people's because of where we live. We were 2.5 grand in fuel just for the van. So I mean, if you lived a lot closer to the tracks, you know, your cost would be a lot less than that. It's an expensive hobby, and there are cheaper ways to do it, but we settled on a mini, and we wanted to enter the mini challenge. It's actually a series I've been looking at for years and years. Yeah, it cost a bit more than I thought it was going to. We are our biggest sponsor. We, you know, most of that £23,000 has come out of both our pockets. We are in a position where we can do this. We both have decent jobs. We obviously do have sponsors and help on board, but only 2 of our sponsors are really monetary, and it's not an awful lot. I mean, we are very appreciative for what we do get from them. Don't get me wrong. In the grand scheme of things, it's not a lot. We are still our biggest sponsor, like I say, and a lot of our other sponsors and partners are mainly just giving us like a slight discount here or there on parts. And also there's the YouTube side of things. So obviously we're just a tiny little channel just starting out. We make nothing from YouTube. YouTube actually costs us money. At the start of the year we bought a new laptop and we pay for the video editing software. We don't do it for, you know, we don't make anything from that. But that's where you guys watching can come in. So looking at the last figures, I think it's still something like 30% of the people that watch our videos are still not subscribed. If you could all subscribe to the channel and like the videos and comment on the videos, we have noticed the interaction. So when we have videos with more likes and more comments, they seem to get shared more on YouTube, therefore bringing in more views, and we get more subscribers from it. So it kind of yeah, if everyone that is watching this could subscribe and like and comment just to give us a bit more interaction. We're at 450 subs just now. We want to try and get to 500 subs. It's kind of like a bit of a target now. We got to 400 quite, I wouldn't say quickly, but in a decent amount of time, and it seems to have leveled out at 450. If we can get to 500, that would be a, like I say, I was a bit shocked when I first added it all up, and it was, yeah, it's a lot of money. There are other things you can do with that kind of money, but then racing's fun. It's something I've always wanted to do, something I've always wanted to get into. I do want to continue it as well. Like I say, you could do it cheaper. There are series out there where you could do it cheaper. You could do it more expensive. If you are interested in joining us next year in 2024, we'll put a link in the description to the Mini Challenge Club Sport website itself, where you've got all the contact details there for the guys that run it, Rob and Tom. It's a really good grade, really good atmosphere, really good bunch of people. So if you are looking at getting into racing, I would recommend it. That's probably enough waffle from me. We'll see you in the next video.
Oh, you want me to speak? Okay,
Yeah, well,
start.